If you need a good night's sleep tonight, don't watch these scary horror stories because they are destined to keep you up. You have been warned. As I gripped the steering wheel, my knuckles turned white. The darkness outside swallowed the world, and the sound of raindrops tapping against the windshield was the only companion on this lonely road. I glanced at the clock, the digits reading 3 a.m. A shiver ran down my spine as I realized how late it had gotten. I had lost track of time, consumed by the seemingly endless stretch of highway. Driving alone at night always gave me an uneasy feeling, but this time was different. This time, there was an inexplicable aura of foreboding. The rain grew heavier, reducing visibility to a mere few feet ahead. I could barely make out the faint lines on the road, and the reflection of my headlights danced eerily in the droplets. My heart pounded in my chest as I noticed a flickering streetlight in the distance, the only sign of civilization amidst the darkness. With a sigh of relief, I longed for the familiarity and safety it promised. I pressed harder on the gas pedal, eager to escape the unsettling ambience that had consumed me. But as I approached the flickering light, a peculiar sensation tugged at the corners of my mind. The light seemed to be moving. My grip on the wheel tightened as I realized it wasn't a streetlight at all. It was a lantern, held by a figure standing on the roadside. Confusion mingled with fear as I squinted through the rain-soaked windshield, trying to make out the shape of the person. As my car drew closer, the figure emerged from the shadows. It was a woman, drenched from head to toe, her long, tangled hair clinging to her pale face. Her eyes, like twin orbs of piercing blue, seemed to glow in the darkness. I slowed the car to a halt, my instincts battling with my rationality. Should I help her? Or was it too dangerous to stop for a stranger on a desolate road at this hour? Yet, her expression was one of desperate pleading, as if her life depended on my decision. Against my better judgment, I unlocked the passenger door. "Get in," I called out, my voice shaky. Without a word, she climbed into the car, her wet clothes dripping onto the seat. The air inside the vehicle immediately grew colder, and an inexplicable heaviness settled upon me. I fumbled to close the door, my hand trembling. The woman sat silently, her gaze fixed on the road ahead. "Where are you headed?" I finally managed to ask, trying to break the ominous silence. Her voice was soft, barely above a whisper. "Home," she replied, her words carrying an air of melancholy. As I resumed driving, an unsettling feeling crept over me. It was as if the road had taken on a life of its own. The rain continued to fall relentlessly, blurring my vision. I squinted through the windshield, straining to make out the road signs, but they appeared distorted, their letters and numbers incomprehensible. Minutes turned into hours, yet the landscape remained unchanged. Panic swelled within me as I realized I was trapped in an endless loop, driving on a road that had no end. My heart raced, the sound pounding in my ears, drowning out the rhythmic patter of the rain. I turned to the woman, desperate for answers. But she was no longer there. The passenger seat was empty, her presence gone without a trace. Cold dread washed over me, paralyzing my senses. The car suddenly lurched forward, hurtling at an alarming speed. The steering wheel became unresponsive, as if possessed by an unseen force. Terror gripped me as the road before me twisted and contorted, morphing into an otherworldly abyss. Monstrous shapes emerged from the darkness, their grotesque forms searing into my mind. The car hurtled toward them, a pawn in their sadistic game. Just when I thought I couldn't bear it any longer, the world around me vanished. I found myself back on the same desolate road, the rain still falling, the clock mocking me with its unchanging time, 3 a.m. Tears streamed down my face as the realization sank in. I was trapped, forever doomed to repeat this nightmare. The road, the rain, the flickering lantern, each element a cruel manifestation of my own personal hell. So here I remain, lost in this unending nightmare, haunted by the spectral woman who brought me here. If you ever find yourself driving alone at night, beware of the flickering light on the side of the road. It may be a harbinger of a horror you can never escape. The engine hummed softly as I navigated the darkened streets, my tired eyes straining to stay focused on the road ahead. Beside me sat my younger sister, Lily, her face partially illuminated by the faint glow of passing streetlights. We had been out late, attending a gathering with friends, and now we were making our way back home. A few blocks from our house, the night enveloped us in an eerie stillness. The air felt heavy, suffocating, as if something ominous lurked just beyond the reach of our headlights. I tried to shake off the unease, reassuring myself that it was merely the product of a long day and an overactive imagination. Then, out of nowhere, a child materialized before us. My heart skipped a beat as I screamed, instinctively slamming my foot on the brakes. The screeching of the tires tore through the silence, but it was too late. The child was already right in front of the car, his wide-eyed terror mirroring our own. I braced myself for the sickening thud, the bone-chilling sound of impact, but it never came. Confusion etched deep lines across my face as I peered through the windshield, searching for any trace of the young boy who had vanished into thin air. Lily and I exchanged terrified glances, our breathing rapid and shallow. Panic began to claw at our throats, threatening to overwhelm us. What had just happened? Had we truly seen a child? Or had our exhausted minds conjured up a cruel trick in the darkness? Unable to comprehend the inexplicable, our minds raced through a barrage of possibilities. Ghosts, hallucinations, a play of lights, each explanation seemed as unlikely as the next. Yet the lingering fear in our hearts refused to be quelled by rationality alone. Shakily, I reached for my phone and dialed the number for the local police. My voice quivered as I relayed the haunting encounter to the operator. They assured me that an officer would be dispatched to investigate, but it would take some time. In the meantime, we were left alone with our mounting dread. The minutes stretched into eternity as we huddled together in the car, our senses on high alert. Every shadow seemed to shift, every whisper of wind carried a spectral whisper. The streetlights flickered, casting eerie, elongated shapes upon the pavement. Finally, the distant sound of sirens shattered the oppressive silence. Relief washed over us as a police car pulled up beside us. An officer stepped out, his face etched with concern and curiosity. We stumbled over our words, attempting to recount the events with as much coherence as we could muster. The officer listened attentively, his gaze fixed on the spot where the child had vanished. He offered us no easy answers, no reassurances that what we had experienced was merely a figment of our imagination. Instead, he revealed that there had been reports of similar sightings in the area, phantom children who appeared only to vanish without a trace. As the officer delved into local lore and whispered rumors, the horrifying truth settled heavily upon our shoulders. We had encountered something beyond our understanding, something that defied logic and explanation. The specter of the child haunted our thoughts, forever etched in our memories. Days turned into weeks, and the incident faded into the realm of unsettling nightmares. We shared our story with friends and family, but most dismissed it as a product of exhaustion and fear. However, deep down, Lily and I knew the truth. Driving at night became a source of anxiety for us, a constant reminder of the inexplicable. We would always wonder what we had truly seen on that fateful night, whether it was a ghostly apparition, a trick of the mind, or some dark force playing upon our vulnerabilities. To this day, the memory of the phantom child continues to haunt us. It serves as a chilling reminder that there are things in this world that defy explanation, lurking in the shadows, waiting for the moment to reveal their unsettling presence. And in those quiet, late-night drives, we cannot help but glance nervously into the darkness, forever searching for the truth that slipped through our fingers that night.